This is Don DeBartolo, a senior commodity broker and market strategist with Daniels Trading Division of StoneX in Chicago. I am also the trader behind the Trade Spotlight advisory service. Trade Spotlight is 3 segments all under one advisory. I'll be covering the futures markets, commodity options, and future spreads. This is Beyond the Spotlight, a video that spotlights 2 or 3 markets that may become trading opportunities for this week. This week begins with Monday, November 8th, 2021. Please pause the video and read the disclosures to understand the risks involved with futures and commodity options trading. Jumping right into the first of 3 charts today, this is the March 22 Chicago wheat futures contract chart, and you can see I have a long trend line drawn off here. Most of the recent lows are falling in the middle of October, but as of late the market has pulled back to touch that trend line as well. Looking down at the indicators below, the MACD, that's the first indicator you see on the chart. It's turning over to the downside. Stochastics indicator, this is my momentum indicator, showing that it's overbought here, and then that GB turning point indicator is showing it's through the cycle and potentially bouncing off of this lower trend line. You can see there's also potentially some support here from that horizontal line that I drew off. So what I'm looking for is the market to bounce off this lower trend line. You can see the 20-day moving average is pointed up, the 50-day is pointed up, even the 200-day moving average is pointed up. So perhaps we can see a bounce up to the $7.98 price level, and then from there I'd like to see my trend still down, but I want to see the momentum indicator hook back up and then turning over so we can sell with some momentum. And this little sell-off already occurred, but there wasn't a formation in place, so we'll wait for the next move. Seasonally, this is a time to be short this contract, so this potentially can set up for maybe later this week. And it's the March 22 Chicago wheat futures contract. Staying in March, but going to the cotton contract. This is March 2022 cotton, and what I have here is a head and shoulders formation setup. The left shoulder is that first ellipse. That's the high from the 8th of October at 113.18. Recently put in a 12-month contract high on November 2nd at 116.73. And you can see I alluded to the potential right shoulder with the market trading back around the 113.5 price level. But first, what I'd like to see is a sell-off into this rectangle area here. There's a lot of support in between these 2 horizontal lines, so I believe the market can sell off into that level before it bounces. Looking at the indicators, the MACD indicator is showing that we're starting to build a downward trend. Stochastics indicator, it's the second indicator there, is showing some downside momentum, and my GB turning point indicator just crossed over that halfway line. So what I'm looking to do is potentially sell this on a break of a pivot point low, one of these recent lows. The most recent is the 112.01 low from Friday, the November 5th. Potentially a break of that low. I can see the momentum carry it down into this rectangle range in between, about 109 and 102, somewhere in that range. That's a big range. So just want to catch a piece of it back into there. And then from there, the market, I believe, does bounce to set up that right shoulder, and then we'd have a stronger formation. A inverted head and shoulders is a trend reversal formation, so it's going to take some time to get back up to that level. Let's see if we can't catch it on a quick sell-off here in the short term. Again, that's March 22 cotton. And the final chart I want to take a look at for today, this is January 2022 orange juice. You can see there's potentially a double bottom formation. That's a two contract lows. The first one being the low of 117.75 from May 5th, 2021, and then recently we just traded down, not all the way down to that same price level. The lowest low was 116.15 from the 3rd of November. Now the market's kind of stalled out. You can see from the indicators, the trend indicator looks to be flat but turning up. The momentum indicator is through the sold level and also turning up. Same with the GB turning point indicator. It's starting to turn up as well. So looking for an opportunity to get long this market. I did set up a call option, but we'll look towards futures for the January contract. If I do want to turn to options, it'll most likely be with a March contract just to buy some time until option expiration. Stop loss can go below the recent lows, so you wouldn't be taking on much risk, and you can see from the Fibonacci retracement that I've drawn off here from the August 24th 12-month contract high of 149 even down to last week's lows. The 50% Fibonacci retracement is 132.80. There's a 50-day moving average right there, 89-day moving average just above. So that's quite a bit of room from where we are here. So potentially we can get a nice retracement in this market. So we'll look for an opportunity this week to get long the January 22 orange juice contract. This is what the Trade Spotlight Advisory Service looks like. It's an email service, so it's sent directly to your inbox. You get a write-up of the trade, the precise entry and exit orders, so you know the risk-reward profile. Feel free to make it your own, tweak it however you see fit for your trading style. I include pertinent information like margin requirements and option expiration dates and a chart that you can click to expand. If you're not following the Trade Spotlight Advisory Service, I encourage you to do so. It's a free service to anyone, clients or non-clients alike. Just go to the danielstrading.com webpage, click on the Advisories tab, and there you'll find Trade Spotlight where you can click it, read more, see recent posts, and click the orange button to subscribe. If you have any questions about the charts that I covered today, trades that I've recommended that we're in, short the Canadian dollar, short the corn contract, we just got out of a 10-year note call option last week. Feel free to reach out. This is my contact information. Work line, cell, email as well. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen, and happy trading.